Hey there, Barry Bizarre here. Welcome to Module 1 of the Be Your Own Barista Brewmasters course. Module 1 is called Know Your Beans. Now, I've got a saying that you can't have good coffee without good beans, okay? I don't care how you're preparing your coffee in the morning. If you start off with bad beans, you're gonna get bad coffee. Now, growing up, I thought that coffee was just this bitter drink that people drank in the mornings to kind of just wake up, get really caffeinated throughout the day, and if you didn't like it, you'd mask it with cream and sugar. I thought that's how I drank coffee throughout the majority of my life. It wasn't until I met a local roaster who gave me a cup of coffee that he locally roasted, or he roasted like pretty much like a day before to drink. He gave it to me to drink. And I'm drinking this thing, and I'm going, oh my God, this thing tastes like a blueberry muffin. What did you do to it? Did you infuse it with blueberries? And he said, no. It was just, he bought the coffee from a certain region, and it was freshly roasted, and that's what we're drinking. Since then, I became fascinated with coffee, and from there on, he taught me a lot, and I learned how to buy the best beans and pretty much knew what to look for. So what we're looking for is there's two types of coffee beans throughout the coffee growing throughout the regions of the world. You've got Robusta beans and you have Arabica beans. Robusta beans, they're bigger beans. They're very, very bitter. They grow at lower elevations. They have a lot of caffeine, but they are very low quality. We want to skip over those. We don't even want to look at those. What we want to look for is a type of bean called the Arabica bean. These beans are grown at higher elevations. They have a harder shell, and they have a broader flavor profile. These coffee beans are gonna have like flavors of fruit and cocoa and vanilla. Some of them are going to be very earthy, and they're going to be very they're going to have so much flavor and so much complexity that you're going to have a more enjoyable cup of coffee. So when we're looking for coffee, we want to look for the region. Now, I provided in this video with this video, I provided a sheet of paper of all the different coffee growing regions. All right. We want to look for single origin coffees. These coffees are going to be from one farm. They're going to come from one source. So you're going to have the same flavor profile. We don't want to look for a blend because you're going to have coffee from different places. We want this one single clean taste. So we're going to look for single origin. The next thing we want to look for is the altitude of where it was grown. A good coffee is grown at an altitude of 3,000 to 6,000 feet. Then we also want to look for how it's processed. There's three different types of processing. You have a wash process, which gives you more of like a clean, bright, and high acidity type of coffee. There's also an unwashed process or a natural process. These coffees are going to have a heavier body, but they're going to be very, very sweet and smooth with a lot of fruit notes. And then you also have a combination. It's a semi-wash process, where the beans are washed for maybe an hour or two, and then they're dried. And then these types of coffees tend to be more earthy and more spicy, if you will. So with this video, I've given you all the information. I want you to read this so you can get an idea of the coffee that you're looking for. All right. After that, you want to look for the roast. So you've got three different types of roasts. You have a light roast, a medium roast, and a dark roast. What you need to know for that is the lighter the roast, the more flavor you're going to get from the actual bean itself. When you start getting to a darker roast, you tend to start getting the flavor from the actual roasting process and not from the bean. I highly recommend finding coffees that have been roasted pretty much from a light to a medium roast, so you can have all those flavors present when you're drinking your coffee. Last but not least, what I really want you to look for in your coffee is you want to look for the roast by date. A lot of coffee that's been bagged. There's an expiration date. We don't really want to look for the expiration date. We really want to look for the roast by date, because after you drink your coffee, or when you're making your coffee, when you drink a coffee that's closer to the roast by date, you're going to have more of those vibrant flavors. And we'll get to that in the next module. But for right now, look at the information that I've given you. Start getting an idea of the type of coffee that you want to buy. And in the next video, we'll show you how to buy it. Okay, I'll see you in the next module.